Hey everybody, my internet was out on Saturday, so I had limited options for anything to play. So I decided to play some Neverwinter Nights 2, an old module that I had been working on, a persistent world, actually, um, for, gosh, I guess a decade now or so. It's gone through a lot of different renditions. Um, Currently, it is a skill-based. Well, I guess skill-based is the best way to describe it. It uses feats rather than skills, but um, they're tiered categories, very similar to like Star Wars Galaxies, for example, would be a good comparable game mechanic, I suppose. Um, or I'll just play it and you can check it out. I have downloaded a few things from the community, some modifications. Hair being one of them. Haven't looked at them in a while though. Some of them do look better than the original hair, but they're not the greatest. Now there's only one class on my server, it's Adventure, that way I can control everything through feats rather than classes. Alignment doesn't really play much of a role, neither do the deities. I tried to exclude wisdom and charisma as much as I possibly could. Um, Obviously for anything that's baked into the engine, there isn't any way to get around it, but the primary stats are strength, dexterity, constitution, and intelligence. One thing I'll point out about the skills is that for the adventure class, everything is opened up for it, so there isn't anything that's excluded where you have to spend extra points. There's no multiplier on any of the skills. Now here's where it's going to get real interesting. I used bonus feats to define the categories, or what I call skills. Um, and in those categories, you could level up 6 ranks in each one. And each rank will provide you with different benefits. Some of them will be passive feats, some of them are activated abilities, spells, etc. And typically, the higher you are in the rank of that particular category, the more effective those abilities are going to be. So like in the case of you know, spell, for example, if you were rank 1 in it, it's going to do, you know, for example, like a d6 damage if you were rank 1, but if you're rank 2, it'll do 2d6 damage. There's other factors as well, like for spell casting, since I'm using that as an example. So like your modifier on your intelligence is also going to add to the amount of damage it does, or it could affect its duration if it's a damage over time, or a charm or something like that. It'll affect its duration. There's other factors in there as well, but you know, typically you would want to be, you know, a higher rank in any of those categories, because it will affect its effectiveness in different ways. You wouldn't want to just take it just so that you get a particular spell and then stop putting points into it, because it's going to be at its lowest effectiveness at that point. I'll just name this character, or pick out a voice, and get started in my newbie zone.
At my command, attack!
Ugh.
To the fight! Onward!
Nope.
You have to fight! Come on! At the enemy! Attack! Step up to the fight. Bring them down.
Alright. We'll go with that one. I also use the description here to kind of let me know what this is. This particular one is I want to be a bard. Like I said, there are no classes, but you know, the categories for the bonus feats are centered around, you know, being able to mix and match if you want to, but you can straight up be a particular type of class with the bonus feats that you choose. Like songs, for example, for a bard, you know. I think I said that there were 6 ranks. There's actually 8 ranks in each bonus feat category. So I think the current cap is level 20 on this. So you could conceivably, you know, go all 8 ranks in 2 bonus feat categories, and then 4 in another, or, you know, mix and match. 8, 6, and 6, you know, whatever combination you're trying to shoot for. I mean, you could even split it up between 4 of them, but you know, you gain utility by having more bonus feats categories, but you'll cap out on its effectiveness. Oh, I think that guy was a quest giver that I was trying out a new quest system, and I think I deleted it. But we're just going to kill some stuff here so you can get an idea of what the world is like and how the game plays with the bonus feat categories. I'd have to look at it again, but I think staves and daggers are usable by anyone. You don't have to have any. You don't have to pick either the martial or the great weapon bonus feat categories. I suppose you could consider them to be like simple weapons that anyone can use with no penalties. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. There's that's a world drop actually. Um, I think it's currently set to 5% as a world drop, but it seems to drop a lot more than 5%. So I think that's going to get set down to 1%, but
I'll
or
put you
2.
in your place.
Now you'll notice that these low levels will go by fairly quickly, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. Probably equivalent to, oh, see, there's another one. Equivalent to most modern MMOs. It
I'll
slows
put
down
you in
pretty
your place.
significantly as you level up, so this is really just to let people get a feel of the game. There's not really a lot of development going on at the low end as far as like, you know, gear and stuff. So getting a character up to say level 6 is probably, you know, you want to do that or I wanted to do that as quick as possible so that they could get a feel of, you know, what the bonus feat categories are about. And that's level 2 there. So I started off with Song as my bonus feat category, and for level 2 I decided to put a point in to get rank 1 of martial weapons. Now, I'm not fighting anything that is dropping any items to sell or coin, so I'm not going to be able to buy a martial weapon just yet, so I'm just going to stick with the staff. We'll eventually go over and kill some skeletons, and they can drop 1 to 2 gold coins, and eventually we'll have enough to get some martial weapons. So the premise behind this newbie area was it was going to be centered around there being some demons, kind of like the original story with Neverwinter Nights too, but um, some skeletons, some low-level demons. I like that sort of thing. Pay no attention to that floating red skull. That's supposed to be a quest marker, but something went wrong with it. Anyway, I'll sell off some of this stuff. Sell 2 of these. I'll keep 1 for myself for later. It is a pretty decent world drop, but probably by the time I actually get high enough to wear it, I'll have found something better, but let's see. So I have test manuals on here for experiencing gold, for testing out different levels versus, the different types of mobs. There's, I don't know, half a dozen zones with mobs going up to, I believe, level 16 or 18. So that's just for testing purposes. So we'll go ahead and level up. I'm debating on whether or not I want to make this like a bard slash rogue, which is one of the things that I really like about skill-based combats, being able to mix and match different things and come up with your own combination rather than cookie cutter classes. And don't get me wrong, I like classes. Extremely fond of necromancers, um, death knights, shadow knights, those types. I like paladins as well. I just like the freedom of a skill-based system because you can, I don't want to say make your own unique class because, the options are available to everyone, but it's less rigid in my opinion. You really do kind of have the freedom to pick and choose whatever kind of combination you want. And I've tried to make it so that the higher ranks in these bonus feat categories, the more effective things are going to be, abilities and such that are in it, and the access that you get to it where you have to be rank 6 to, is it 2, 4, 6? I think it's rank 6 to wear plate, for example, in the defense category. You know, there's two really good abilities, rank 7 and rank 8 in defense, but you know, if the build that you're trying to go for, you know, doesn't allow you to have more than 6 ranks in defense because you're trying to get rank 6 in, you know, something else, either one of the magic categories like you know, light or dark or whatever, or if you're, you know, you don't want to build that type of a hybrid, you want to build more of a, you know, like this particular character here, you know, I'm going for a bard. You know, I could split that up between song, subtlety, and a weapon, and I could be pretty effective, but I wouldn't have anything in defense, so I would only ever be able to wear, you know, cloth, no leather armor or you know, anything like that. And I would still end up with, you know, only 20 points to spend ultimately anyway. So you got to divide those 20 points up into, you know, whatever categories you want. You can go with a little bit of subtlety so that you can get, you know, some of the benefits from that, like sneak attack. Or you can, you know, grab a couple of ranks in defense so that you can wear leather, a couple of ranks in subtlety to pick up, you know, 1d6 or a 2d6 sneak attack, and then go full song and full martial, and that could be you know, pretty effective character, especially since you'll get defense, you know, that's associated with subtlety. There's a couple of feats in there that are helpful, because the expectation is, if you know, with subtlety, that you're wearing light-ish armor, so you'll still get those benefits, and then you know, the benefits that you'd get from light armor as far as like how much of a dex bonus you'll get from it. And then you've also got, you know, there's one of the very first defense or very first song that you get, you know, in songs, increases your attack, and I think it's rank 4. You get the one that boosts your defense. So if you decide that you don't want to go with the defense category at all, I mean, you could run that song, but you know, if you wanted that defense, then you're going to be running it all the time. I think the cap on light armor to the defense bonus that's awarded is 100, so you'll never be even close to exceeding that. So sticking with just cloth is not as advantageous as, you know, it would be in the original, you know, like D&D and Neverwinter Nights, where I think the limit is +8. I don't know, it's been so long. If you're wondering what I'm doing there, I'm trying to figure out before, you know, before I get the benefits of, I chose a rank 2 in song rather than rank 2 in martial, so I don't have 2 weapon fighting just yet. So I was trying to determine what the penalties were going to be for equipping a second weapon. So I'm just going to stick with one weapon at the moment because it's more advantageous. I get better attack. We're going to kill a bunch of skeletons and well, that's my first ability there, strike. that you get with rank 1 of Marshal. And that is like a piercing bellows type ability I just used there, that I got with rank 2 and Song. Oh, well, you'll notice that guy turned around and ran back. It's not so much as how far I pulled him as to how long it took for him to get to me. Neverwinter Nights zones are not very big, so I kind of limit things like, you know, how far they'll chase you. And again, it's not to do with distance, it has to do with time, but it equates to a distance. They won't chase you across the zone or even halfway across the zone. Been a while since I played. Testing out the exploration. I don't know, I've never really been a huge fan of that isometric, I guess it's called, top-down view. It's not my favorite. Not since Ultima Online. Well, I don't even know if it was really my favorite back in the day when I was playing that. It was kind of the only option you had until EverQuest came out. And then EverQuest with that first-person view. It was quite remarkable back in the day. There's level 4. You can't go wrong with Constitution. I've done some work with skills before in the past, and this particular list is not, there's skills in there that aren't actually used, but I've just left them in for now, like the crafting ones and stuff. Might end up utilizing them for something later on, but okay. Let's see how that changes my primary and secondary weapon stats. I'm just checking out how the different weapons affect my overall primary and secondary weapon stats as far as light versus medium. What that does to having medium in the primary hand versus having light weapons in both the primary and secondary. I thought that, at least in D&D, I don't remember what edition it was, but obviously it's not 3.5 because there's no benefit to running light weapons in both hands. So definitely stick with a medium in the primary. And then as far as light, it's just preference. I like axes and I like short swords. I'll go with the axe for right now. See what the animations look like. Mm. Definitely like the animation of that strike with swords in both hands. Anyway, I think we'll end it here. Next video is probably going to be about this dungeon I'm about to go into, the Hovin Crypt. So thanks for watching.